From the second book of Samuel. Ishbaal, son of Saul, had two company leaders named Baana and Rechab, sons of Rimnon the Beerothite of the tribe of Benjamin. Beeroth too was ascribed to Benjamin. The Beerothites fled to Gittaim, where they have been resident aliens to this day. Jonathan, son of Saul, had a son named Merib-Baal with crippled feet. He was 5 years old when the news about Saul and Jonathan came from Jezreel, and his nurse took him up and fled. But in their hasty flight, he fell and became lame. The sons of Rimmon the Beerothite, Rechab and Baanah, came into the house of Ishbaal during the heat of the day while he was taking his siesta. The portress of the house had dozed off while sifting wheat and was asleep. So Rechab and his brother Baanah slipped past and entered the house while Ishbaal was lying asleep in his bedroom. They struck and killed him and cut off his head. Then, taking the head, they traveled on the Arabah robe all night long. They brought the head of Ishbaal to David in Hebron and said to the king, "This is the head of Ishbaal, son of your enemy Saul, who sought your life. Thus has the Lord this day avenged my lord and king on Saul and his posterity." But David replied to Rechab and his brother Baanah, sons of Rimmon the Beerothite, "As the Lord lives, who rescued me from all difficult in Ziklag, I seized and put to death the man who informed me of Saul's death, thinking himself the bearer of good news, for which I ought to give him a reward. How much more now, when wicked men have slain an innocent man in his bed at home, must I hold you responsible for his death and destroy you from the earth?" So at a command from David, the young man killed them and cut off their heads and feet, hanging them up near the pool in Hebron. But he took the head of Ishbaal and buried it in Abner's grave in Hebron. All the tribes of Israel came to David in Hebron and said, "Here we are, your bone and your flesh. In days past, when Saul was our king, it was you who led the Israelites out and brought them back. And the Lord said to you, 'You shall shepherd my people Israel and shall be commander of Israel.'" When all the elders of Israel came to David in Hebron, King David made an agreement with them before the Lord, and they anointed him king of Israel. David was 30 years old when he became king, and he reigned for 40 years, 7 years and 6 months in Hebron over Judah, and 33 years in Jerusalem over all Israel and Judah. Then the king and his men set out for Jerusalem against the Jebusites who had inhabited the region. David was told, "You cannot enter here. The blind and the lame will drive you away," which was their way of saying, "David cannot enter here." But David did take the stronghold of Zion, which is the city of David.